Hello, what's going on, everyone? Thank you so much for joining me here this morning on Narcissism 101 Cracking the Code with me, Paul Wisdom. Good morning. Hope you are having a good Tuesday so far. Yes, I know it's quite early. It's before 8 o'clock. But I wanted to make this video. And before I get into it, as usual, if you would like a one-on-one session, please email me at paul.wisdom_03@hotmail.com. Or you can send a text message to 647-406-3057. If you want to talk, if you want to vent, if you want more advice, if you have some questions about any of my videos, if you are trying to figure out whether the person you're dealing with is a narcissist or whether you're in a narcissistic situation, please feel free to reach out, man. I'm here for you guys. Reach out to me. All right? All right, let's get into it. So, the title of this video is The Narcissist Cannot Get Help. Yes, 100%, the narcissist cannot get any help. And I'm going to explain why the narcissist can't get help. You see, people think that the narcissist, that because they're a human being, that they can get some sort of help, right? But the truth, see, is that narcissists, and this is what people have to understand, especially for people who try to, bring the narcissist to counseling, bring the narcissist to therapy, get the narcissist to change somehow. Maybe they bring them to somebody who casts out demons or whatever that is. It doesn't matter, right? The fact of the matter is that narcissists, they in of themselves cannot get help. Why? Because narcissists are of the devil. Narcissists, they work in tandem with the devil. They have this spirit of Cain in them. And what exactly does that mean? And I'm speaking to more of you people who, don't know the Bible, aren't Christians. And if you aren't, that's fine. It's okay. I'm just mentioning that what I mean by the narcissist has the spirit of Cain is in the Bible, see, there's a story about two brothers, Cain and Abel. And you probably are familiar with this. If you're a Christian, drop comments below if you know what I'm talking about. There's two brothers, Cain and Abel. And see, Cain and Abel, they were in a field one day. And one of the brothers, both brothers, they both had sacrifices, right? And the brother Abel, what he did was they both presented their sacrifices, to God. And when they both presented their sacrifices to God, God looked on their sacrifices and, Abel's sacrifice was blessed over Cain's sacrifice, because Cain's sacrifice, when he sacrificed to his sacrifice to God, he did it with a heart of pride. He did it with a heart of jealousy, because the thing is, when God accepted Abel's sacrifice, Cain was jealous, because again, it's because Cain had a heart of pride, right? And so when Cain's sacrifice was not acknowledged, was not taken, and was blessed in the same way as Abel was, Cain was jealous of that. And what did he do? He ended up in the field killing his brother Abel. He killed him, right? Like stabbed him and killed him, right? And so God then approached Cain and said, "Are you your brother's keeper?" So the narcissist is a lot like Cain. The narcissist is jealous of people for being themselves, right? And so with that being said, because the narcissist is jealous, mind you, they're jealous, but they also cannot get help because narcissists have a disorder, right? They have a disorder that doesn't allow for them to be able to get the help that they need, to be able to see things from other people's perspective, to be able to put themselves in other people's shoes. Narcissists also thrive off of chaos, right? They need to create chaos. They need to always be on the go. And somebody's going to ask me, well, why does the narcissist always need to be creating chaos? Why are they always trying to destroy things that they have started? The answer to that question is that narcissists, They need to create chaos because they're running away from something. And that something is that they're running away from themselves. They're running away from all the demons that inhabit their minds. They're running away from all the lives that they have destroyed. They're running away from the lies that they have told people. They're running away from the cheating, all the people that they've cheated. They're running away from all the relationships that they've destroyed. They're running away from all the things that they have done that they cannot take back, right? And that's why they always need to be on the go, because it scares them, right? They're afraid, right? Because they're full of anxiety. They are depressed people, right? And these aren't people that can be fixed, right? Now, you have to understand, you have many different types of people on this planet called Earth. You have narcissists, and you also have people that are empaths, but then you also have people who are in between, people who are just toxic people, right? That have problems, that have challenges, right? And then you have people that are in between empaths and toxic people, that are just in between. They're either or, right? But then you also have toxic people. Now, the difference between narcissists and toxic people, and I mentioned this in many of my videos, is that toxic people, to an extent, they can get help. Some of them even know that they have a problem, right? And they seek to go and get help for it. But see, narcissists, you have to understand this. Narcissists are black and white. They have black and white thinking, right? And narcissists, they don't see things the way that normal people see them. Narcissists cannot get help for the disorder that they have. That's why I recommend that people who try to cast demons out of narcissistic people, that's not going to work. It's only going to make them worse, because narcissists have a disorder of their mind, and this disorder inhabits their brain, and they cannot get help, right? And they thrive off of narcissists, mind you, they thrive off of chaos. That's how they thrive. And they thrive off of it because it gives them supply. Right? Now, what is supply? For those who are new to my channel, and if you are, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you being here, especially if you're here this morning at before 8 o'clock. Thank you so much for being here. But what is supply for those who are new to my channel? Supply is what narcissists, supply is physical, emotional, social, spiritual. Supply is everything to the narcissist. You see things as what they are, right? Like you see going to work as just going to work, getting your money and going home and maybe creating some relationships and networking and all that, but the narcissist sees it as energy, as supply. Supply, and I mentioned this in one of my videos. I made a video on supply. If you're new to my channel, please go and check it out. Supply is anything that gives the narcissist energy, right? Narcissists get supply from anything. Right? And once the narcissist has no need for that thing, they throw it away just like that. So, for example, a relationship, a marriage, for example, the narcissist is married to you. The narcissist doesn't see you as their spouse. They don't see you as the husband or the wife. What they see you as is a source of supply, something that they can use, something that they can take advantage of. Somebody who at some point, just like that, they're just going to throw away. They're just going to end that marriage as if nothing happened, as if they never knew you. Once you put up a boundary, once you say, I'm not going to let you be disrespectful to me any longer. Once you say, look, I wish that you could help out. I wish that you could, treat me with respect. I wish that you would love me for once. The narcissist is just going to throw you away just like that. Maybe you're going to come home, the moving van is going to be there. Maybe you're going to come home and their house is going to be empty. Maybe you're going to be using your phone, and then out of nowhere, you're going to get a text out of left field that said, I'm leaving you. I never was in love with you. Even though 10 minutes ago, they just had sex with you, or they just made love to you, or you guys just said, we're going to plan our lives like this. And then boom, and that marriage is over. And then you're going to be scratching your head saying, did I do something wrong? Was it me? Could I have done more? Should I have done more? These are all questions that you will never get answers to, because the narcissists, mind you, again, they thrive off of creating chaos. And that chaos, mind you, the reason why I say it in that order, chaos, confusion, and control, is because narcissists, they do it, they know it's going to be in that order, that once they cause that chaos in your life, it's going to create confusion. Think about the intentional argument, for example, right? When narcissists create intentional arguments, you're going to be thinking, why are they talking about this right now? Like, let's say that you are about to go out to a get together or a gathering, or whether you're about to go to church if you're spiritual, or whether you're about to, whether you're about to begin the day or something. You guys wake up together or something, and you're about to go out somewhere. I don't know. You can put whatever you want to in the blanks here. And let's say that the narcissist, out of nowhere, they bring up something of the past that triggers you, right? And then you're scratching your head trying to figure out, why are you talking about this right now? And let's say that you guys just had, it was amazing. Everything was good, right? You guys went to bed together. You guys had such a good sleep. You guys got up, and your wife or your girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever you want to call them, you guys got up and you were happy. They smiled at you, and you guys started the day off well. And then out of nowhere, they're starting they bring up something out of nowhere that has nothing to do with anything. They're trying to figure out, the question you asked us, why are we talking about this now? Just a second ago, we were having such a good time. Then out of nowhere, now you're getting the silent treatment. And then you're explaining yourself, trying to say, did I do something wrong? And then, know what happens next? Then you apologize and say, okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I did anything wrong. And then you keep doing that. You keep saying sorry to them in that moment, hoping that they will come around, and then they'll say, oh, it's no problem. And then eventually they're gonna keep looking at you, giving you the silent treatment. And then they'll look at you like that, with that empty look, and you're trying to just get answers from them, trying to figure out what is going on. That's the question you're asking. What is going on? Well, what's going on there is that the narcissist is getting filled up with supply. They're getting filled up with energy from you explaining yourself to them, from your confusion, because narcissists thrive off of your pain. They love seeing people get angry. They love seeing people explain themselves because it makes them happy, because they love that. Okay? So what you need to understand is that, narcissists, they cannot get help for this. This isn't something that they can get help for. This is why we say that once you figure out, that narcissists are like this, you can't give these people any second chances, because these people are just going to get worse. The longer that you stay with them, the more of a chance they will get to completely destroy you until you will not live any longer. Right? And so that's what you have to understand, is that narcissists, they're not normal people. These aren't people who are normal. These are people that are working in tandem with the devil. These are people that are working for the devil full time, because they do everything that the devil does, right? They destroy just like the devil destroys, right? Now understand, narcissists are normal human beings just like me and you are, right? But every day they have to make a choice. Are they going to do good, or are they going to do bad? And they choose the opposite, that they're going to do bad, because narcissists, they don't like peace. They don't like happiness. They don't like to see people thrive. They don't like to see people successful. That's why, and that is why, the narcissist hoovers people. That's why when your relationship with them ends, let's say if you were married to them and they just divorced you out of nowhere you're getting divorce papers out of nowhere, and you didn't even do anything wrong. Or maybe you're in a relationship with them, and then the next day everything's going well the day before, and then the next day, boom, they cheat on you with someone else, right? You have to understand that the reason why they do that, well, for one, they've been doing this from before, like from the get-go. But the thing is, this is just the first time you are knowing about it, right? But the other thing is that the narcissists, they know exactly what they're doing, because they were studying you the whole time. They were watching you the whole time. You may have thought that you were in love with them, but really, you were in love with an illusion, something that never existed, something that was never going to happen. That's why many times the narcissist will future fake. What is future faking, for those of you who are new to my channel? Future faking is when the narcissist is telling you things that will never happen, right? They make it seem as though, yeah, we can do this, and 10 years from now we're going to go on that trip to Italy, or in years from now we're going to start that business, or years from now, we're going to have kids, and we're going to do this, and we're going to do that. And then when those years come, you're excited to do these things, and then the narcissist says, oh, I never said that. We're never doing that. No. And then you're scratching and saying, yeah, we wrote it down, remember? And then they're saying, no, I didn't say that. Nope. And then you're scratching your head saying, what the heck? And then you're trying to get answers. Again, now you're giving the narcissist supply. And when you're giving them supply, they know this. They know that you're going to do that because they were studying you. And they know that you were going to do that because they've done it to so many other people. You may have thought that you were the only person that the narcissist was doing this to, but trust and believe, they have done this to so many people before they met you. And you have to remember, narcissists do this thing as a full-time job. This narcissism game, this narcissistic cycle of abuse that goes love bomb, devaluation, discard, and then Hoover, they've been doing this from before they met you, long before you knew what narcissism was, right? They always do this. So what I'm saying, guys, is that narcissists cannot get help. They can't. It's impossible for a narcissist to get help because they believe inside their disordered brain that there is nothing wrong with them. That when they cause chaos, confusion, and control within your life, when they do that to you, they believe that they are not doing anything wrong. They in fact believe that you did something to cause them to treat you like that, when that's not true. You did nothing wrong. You didn't do anything. You were just a good person to them. That's all you did. And they hate you for being a good person. Why? Because the narcissist hates what is good. So you have to understand, guys, that this is how narcissists are. They thrive off of causing chaos. And then now you're confused. And now they can control you. Now that they've done those two things, the chaos and confusion leads to them being able to control you. Because now that they're confused inside your mind, because everything starts in the mind and the narcissist knows this, they know that now that they've confused you, now they can control you. Now they can get control of your mind. And that's why I say the mind, you need to train your mind more than anything else. You need to strengthen your mind. You need to fix your mind on things that are good and things that will benefit you, things that will bring you further. You know, whether that's training your mind in a special way of, working out and exercising, whether that's reading, whether that's going for walks in nature, whether that's doing things that are good for you, you need to train your mind so that the narcissist cannot cause chaos in your mind, right? Because once they cause this chaos, they know that they can control you, and you don't want the narcissist to control you because it's like they can put you under a spell, right? Because it's a spell. It's what's known as a trance or a narcissistic fog or a trauma bond, or like I like to say on my channel, the sunken place, right? If you watch the movie Get Out, and I encourage you guys, if you have time, watch that movie Get Out. It's really instrumental, and there's a lot of narcissism in that movie, with regards to that stuff, right? So you have to understand, this is how narcissists thrive. They thrive off of this. They're always doing this. That's why they can never sit still. That's why they can't be committed to just one person. They can't just be married to one person and say that this is the person who I'm going to spend the rest of my life with. They can't do that because they can't trust. Because they're too scared. They're full of anxiety. They're depressed people. These aren't normal, everyday people that can just get help and say, all right, I've gotten help. No, I'm not going to go back to the way I was before. No, that's not how this works. It doesn't work that way, unfortunately. If it did, then the world would be a different place. But unfortunately, it doesn't work that way. These narcissists are going to go down swinging. They're gonna go down, they're gonna become the aging narcissist, which is a lot more entitled and is a lot more dangerous. And you want to be nowhere around the aging narcissist to see them suffer for all the many lives that they destroyed, all the lies that they've told, all the people that they've scammed, all the people that they've tried to get things from. You want to be nowhere around to see that, because they're going to suffer not at the hands of any of us, but they're going to suffer. God's going to take care of them, because you have to remember, and this is why I say, when the narcissist discards you, or when the narcissist destroys you, when the narcissist discards you rather, don't try to get revenge on them. Don't try to get closure. Don't try to reach out to them and try to conversate with them and say, what did I do wrong? And say things like that. The narcissist knows exactly what they're doing. They knew that they were going to discard you. They knew that that relationship that you had with them, that was going to end one way or another. Whether you were strong enough to discard them, and I highly encourage you, do not do that. Don't do a reverse discard. It's nonsense, because the narcissist, when you reverse discard them, They're going to get a narcissistic injury, and they are going to seek to destroy you even worse than if they discarded you. That's why I don't recommend discarding the narcissist, okay? Especially if they're a malignant narcissist, the most dangerous narcissist of all narcissists. They will kill you. They will physically kill you. They can become very, very dangerous, okay? That's why I say don't do it. Just let them discard you. Let them have the power over you, because if you discard them, it can be very, very dangerous, okay? So guys, know this, okay? Narcissists cannot get help. And in fact, and this is why I left this part to the last part of this video. Years ago, when I was doing premarital counseling to get married to my ex-wife, my wife who is now my ex-wife, who turned out to be a narcissist. When we did premarital counseling at the church that I attended and that we went to, one of the questions that the pastor who was doing the counseling asked us was, what do you think the number one cause of divorce is? And we were guessing. We were saying, money. We said communication. We said cheating. And we came up with many different things. But those things all turned out to be not true. The number one cause of divorce is, that he said is, and I continue to believe this for myself, is that people do not want to get help. So think about that. Narcissists, they cannot get help. So when you're in your relationships, when you are going about your daily life, getting to know people, getting to know that person that you want to, be in a relationship with long term, let's say, next time when you're in this relationship with this person, or whether it's just a friend, somebody, it doesn't matter. You can put it in whatever category you want. Next time you're getting to know somebody and you want a long-term relationship with them, get to know if they can actually get help. Get to know if they're a person who depends solely on themselves, or they can say, yeah, I know exactly when I need to ask questions, or when I need to go and get help for this ailment or that ailment or this or that. That will tell you a lot about them. And if they're a narcissist, they will even try to make you not get help. They will say, oh, don't ask your parents for help. Don't ask your parents for money. Don't ask people for help. You don't need any help. They'll try to gaslight you in that way so they can confuse you. Remember? Chaos, confusion, and then now they can control you, right? So yeah, guys, that's what I wanted to mention for the sake of this video. Narcissists cannot get help. So I hope that this video helped you out. Thank you so much for being here today with me on Narcissism 101, Cracking the Code with me, Paul Wisdom. Like I said, if you want a one-on-one session, please email me at paul.wisdom_03@hotmail.com, or you can send a text message to 647-406-3057. If you want to talk, if you want to call me, just send a text to that number and just let me know that it's you and you want to talk about your narcissistic experience and that you need help. I'd be more than happy to give you the help that you need. So please feel free to reach out. So again, thank you so much for being here. Good morning. Hope you have an amazing day. And take care. Enjoy your day.